Okay, let's try to finish Harold quest. It's a shame he has to die, but really, I can't see any way of. He'll either die inside the tree or anyway, or we'll put him out of his misery.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Bloomseer Poplar, soothsayer and healer of Oasis. It brings me great honor to welcome you.
How did you end up here?
My father was a healer like myself. He had the most curious books I would read about trees and plants and their medicinal properties. Many years later, I heard a rumor about a place such as this. I spent a decade in search of it. I've been in this wonderful place for over 15 years now.
What's causing this place to grow?
In what we call the harvest month, the Great One creates seeds among his branches within seed pods. At the end of this time, the pods open and the seeds are carried quite easily upon the wind. It's quite beautiful. Wherever the seeds take purchase, they grow into trees, plants, grass, or all manner of wonderful things.
Any information you could give me on the caves below Oasis would be helpful.
Be wary of the water in the caves. I fear they still carry the sting of radiation from the bombs.
What did you have to do to become a tree minder?
I was the third one to arrive here in Oasis. Tree Father Birch was a bit wary at first, but Leaf Mother Laurel convinced him to let me stay. If she hadn't been around, I doubt Birch would have ever let me stay here. After a while, they taught me their ways, and together we developed the ceremony of purification that you undertook. May you remain under the canopy of his protection.
So you're the outsider, huh? You seem nice to me.
Hey, she's probably born here.
I was born here, silly.
So what did you have to do to become a tree minder?
Just get born, I guess. You're funny.
Any info on the caves below?
My parents told me never to go past the old gate. There are monsters in there. May you remain under the canopy of...
It's very nice to meet you, outsider. I'm Branch Tender Linden.
How did you end up here?
I was found dying in the wastes not far from here by a trader caravan. They knew about this place and brought me to Bloomseer Poplar. She nursed me back to health, and I've stayed ever since.
Yeah, dying. How awful. What happened to you?
I was a Brotherhood of Steel outcast. We had a deep patrol out here looking for some tech, and they got jumped by some Deathclaws. They shredded everyone else and left me bleeding to death. If it wasn't for Oasis and Bloomseer Poplar, I'd be dead right now. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this place. It's beautiful. It's a shame only a few people will ever get to see it.
What did you have to do to become a tree minder?
I sort of fell into it, I guess. I woke up here and I just stayed. After a while, I became one of them.
Any info on the caves?
Oasis is located near what used to be an old mining town before the bombs fell. When the attack started about 200 years ago, many people took shelter in the natural caves that dotted the area. The old gate that stands at the mouth of Oasis Cave is the last piece of architecture from those days. May you remain under the canopy of his protection.
Sure. Bit too thick growth of trees, but otherwise the place seems okay enough. It's just an odd thing to see in a Fallout game. I don't really get why they had to put in so many thick layer of trees anyway, since there's rock behind it. You couldn't get trees to grow like this, no matter what you tried. Guess we'll just roll with it. It creates a different type of visual look. I guess they put in so many trees because otherwise people might have recognized that it's a repeat of a same terrain you can see outside. To the globe. I guess we need to talk to their leader.
And I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong. Why else would he have called for an outsider's assistance?
The outsider is here to deliver us from our enemies, to keep this place safely locked away from the wasteland, not to exploit us.
How can we preach about peace when all you want to do is keep his gift all to ourselves? That's not what he would want.
If we allow the spread of this miracle to continue, we're putting him in jeopardy. I can't allow that. I won't allow it.
Once again, my husband, we are at an impasse. I suggest we speak to the outsider.
Agreed. Why else would the outsider have been allowed into the grove? Perhaps it's a test. Yes, that must be it. I know why you're here, and despite what my wife thinks, I know you'll do what's best for Oasis. After all, he chose you, and he would never want to put us in harm's way.
Yeah, he's not a Godbird, his name is Harold.
Oh, he's testing you now, just like he tested us. He wants to see if your faith is strong by spinning these incredible stories. Who else but a god could produce all of this? Don't worry. You'll soon see things as I do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Harold makes unusual requests.
The Great One does tend to speak in riddles, but if that is his way, then so be it. My talks with him have become quite puzzling of late. I think he's beginning to fear his future. The Great One's influence is growing, and soon it will break free of the confines of this secluded vale. We can't allow Oasis to call attention to itself like that. It would be the end of him.
So, what can I do to help?
If the same sap that you drank to purify yourself could be applied to his heart, it should stop the spread. I can promise you no harm would come to him. That's all I ask of you, outsider. Nothing more, nothing less.
I love Birch, but sometimes I think he doesn't see the big picture. The spreading of his influence is not a curse. It's a great miracle, a benefit meant for the entire wasteland.
Why don't any of you listen to Harold?
Of course we do. He yearns to share his miracles with the whole world, to give the gift of life back to the dead wasteland. It's upsetting him to no end, but Birch can't see the pain it's causing. But now that you're here, I have a feeling the winds are about to change.
So, how can I help?
I heard what my husband wanted you to do. What I propose is an alternative. The same person that created the sap also created this liniment. If you can reach his heart, it will assist him in making his influence increase. Instead of centuries, the wasteland will become green in mere decades. Just imagine how glorious that would be.
Branch Tender Cypress at your service. Welcome to our little home.
What's your opinion of Tree Father Birch and Leaf Mother Laurel?
I wish they wouldn't argue so much. It makes everyone uncomfortable.
So how did you end up here?
I was an outsider like yourself, wandering the world aimlessly, wasting my life trying to seek my fortune. When my eyes beheld the splendor of Oasis, I knew I'd found a holy place. Tree Father Birch allowed me to stay, and I've been here ever since.
What did you have to do to become a tree minder?
Actually, you already did some of it. I had to do the ceremony and meet with the Great One. Then Tree Father Birch taught me everything I needed to know about Oasis and how it has to remain a secret. That's why I'm so worried. I just think letting this place spread into the wasteland would be an unwise decision.
What if all the tree minders don't agree with you?
That would worry me. I was out there once, like you. I wandered the wasteland for many years. All I saw was poverty, famine, sickness, hate, and death everywhere I turned. But this place isn't anything like that. We can't allow that kind of evil inside Oasis. We just can't.
May I have the key to the caves?
Sure. Here you go. Good luck to you. Farewell, outsider.
I'd like to talk to Harold before going, see what he thinks about the options being presented. It's his choice, in my opinion. Regardless of whether I agree or not, I'll see what Harold wants. But I don't want to. I would like to at least challenge his current opinion to basically test it out at least a little bit. I'm not quite sure how is this a temporary thing, or is this something that's been a long time coming? It's not like I see his options being great, but he might choose to stay here, help others.
Look, Herbert, she's back. I told you.
Yeah, about those tree minders.
No, don't get me started on them. I'm liable to talk about them all day. It even drives poor old Bob crazy.
Do you ever ask one of them to kill you?
They won't listen to me at all. If I tell them something simple, then it gets done. Otherwise, Birch spends a week looking for a hidden meaning. Plus, he just pops in whenever he wants and starts chanting this nonsense. Sometimes I just sit there silently just to make him mad. That was fun for a while, but even that's getting boring now.
How do tree minders normally handle other outsiders?
Oh, you wouldn't believe how they handle them. They make them drink this gunk that Poplar makes. Sometimes they just go nuts and start running around. And sometimes when they wake up and see me, they run for the hills. I'll tell you, outsiders are almost as entertaining as the tree minders.
Which tree minders do you get along with the best?
Actually, the kid is the nicest one of all. Use her name. She sneaks in here sometimes and just lets me talk about stuff I wanna talk about. Bob really likes her too, 'cause she makes me happy.
I think we need to talk to you another time. Yeah, you don't actually seem that sad. Why do you want to die?
I've been literally rooted to this spot, thanks to Bob, for maybe 20 or 30 years. I can't even remember anymore. Can you imagine being stuck in one place for that long? Not being able to eat, or to read, or to sleep, or anything? In the meantime, I have these tree minders bothering me every day about things I don't even care about. And I can't stand it anymore!
I don't think killing Harold is the correct choice here. He doesn't really want to die, in the sense what he's trying to do is get away from the circumstances he's forced to endure at this moment. So it would make more sense to try to change those circumstances instead of trying to kill him. Hey, life's a gift. Even if it lasts a long time, be glad you have it.
I've tried to stay happy. Really, I have. Bloomseer Poplar thinks I'll live for hundreds of years. Maybe even more. Can you imagine that? Stuck here for centuries? I can't do it. I just want to be alone. Just me and Bob until the end. When I saw you coming towards Oasis, I thought I felt that you'd understand me. I guess I was wrong.
Seeing me approach Oasis is quite a feat for a living tree.
Maybe I'm just losing my mind from all this boredom, but I swear if I try, I can see all around me. Like my eyes are in every leaf, on every tree. I think it's making Bob kinda jealous, 'cause he was the first tree in my life, and all that.
How is it you're causing all of these things to grow around you?
It's kinda embarrassing, really. Once a year, Bob decides he's gonna go ahead and start growing these weird pods filled with tiny seeds. Well, all it takes is a good wind and the seeds just fly everywhere. I call them Herbert seeds. He hates that.
Yeah, what's with all the names?
Okay, let me talk real careful for the slow folks. I was once a man, a long time ago, named Harold. Something in me changed and a weird little tree started growing right out of my head. It kept getting bigger until I ended up stuck inside. When people would ask about it, I decided to name it Bob. You know, like a friend or something. Sometimes I call him Herbert instead of Bob because I get bored and I think it's funny. So, long story short, call me Harold.
I'm mostly a tree, right? Can't I just burn you down? I mean, that's a bit reckless.
Oh, no. Fire would be too painful for me and poor old Bob. You keep that stuff away from us. The heart would be just fine, and I won't feel a thing.
Yeah, ask questions about the cave. Ooh, kill Harold by burning him. Yeah, you want to be a dick. Quick questions.
Yeah, I'll leave it to good old Bob to get me stuck above some caves. Now, my dang feet are cold.
Anything down there to look out for?
Sometimes I feel stuff tickling me, but I think that's just Bob getting back at me for all the times I called him Herbert.
Yeah, how do I get into there? I already know.
I think the best way for you to get down there would be to get the key from the one those loonies call Cypress. There's supposed to be some old gate or something back in the other grove.
Yep.
Don't worry, Herbert. She'll be back. I love that one. Gets me every time.
Yeah, the lip syncing is not really good with Harold. Well, he has no lips though, so... I need to talk to the little girl, see if I can get something out of her. She's the likeliest way we can maybe try to change things.
Yes, outsider, what is...
Okay, ask about the water. Is it safe to drink?
I'm afraid the water still bears the mark of man's greed. It's his reminder of what we once were. Perhaps one day he will see fit to lift this punishment, but I fear we have yet to command his full respect.
Any info on the caves?
Just like a cancer would infest our bodies, the caves below us are infested with vermin. You'd do well to be cautious down there. We've lost a few tree minders in the past. By all
Where did the sap come from?
Bloomseer Poplar has a unique understanding of the innate power that lay dormant in the plants you see around you. She created the sap with the knowledge she brought to us from the wasteland.
Okay, why don't you test travel to the Herald's Heart on your own?
I would if I was able, but he will not allow us entry. His roots bar the door, and we have yet to earn the right to pass. Go on. Of course.
I'm asking about the tree minders. What do the names mean?
The first part of our name represents our role in the tree minders. The youngest are the saplings, still learning what it means to live in Oasis. The branch tenders are our guardians and keep our home safe. Our healers and soothsayers are known as Bloomseers. Finally, the Tree Father and the Leaf Mother are the creators and the upholders of the Great One's laws. Go.
This little girl.
Hello, outsider. It's very nice to see you.
If she offers us nothing really new at this point, I'll go and put up. Well, we need to reveal Herald's Heart no matter what, so that's what we do next. Assuming the girl doesn't provide with something really useful. There you are.
Hiya.
Tree Father, Tree Mother, Leaf Mother.
They're the best parents ever.
Okay, tell me about your god.
Oh, you mean Harold? He's really nice. Sometimes when I get really lonely, I go into the grove and talk to him. Sometimes I even curl up all cozy-like and sleep next to his root after I have a bad dream. I tell him what I'm scared of, and he tells me what he's scared of. It makes me feel better knowing I'm not the only one.
Tell me too, then I won't be scared either. This is probably pretty important.
Aw, I never knew an outsider could be scared of anything. Harold told me that he's scared of fire. If fire ever got on him, it would burn him and Bob until they were all gone. That's why we keep the fires far away from him. That's okay. I like talking about Harold's. He's really nice. He's my best friend. Sometimes I even curl up all cozy like. I tell him what I'm scared of.
I can't, it's... He's afraid of fire. Yeah, we knew that.
You're a guest among us, and quite welcome, I suppose.
Yeah, probably not going to use a flamethrower. So what's the enemies here? Roaches. There has to be something a bit more dangerous than roaches. And Mirelurk something. Oh, well, hopefully there's no Mirelurks. Oh look, that's not Mirelurk. It's right there. I'm gonna kill every stinking one of you with everything I have. I'm making crash preparations, just in case. So we're going to go to a heavy saving schedule at this point. Is that a Myler or anything else? It's a Lurk. It's a Lurker King! Well, I can burn them. The king is fairly tough though, and he's in the water. Myler King. Ah, he's a tough mother. You can't see him. You out of there or what? Myler Ekomlaches. South, east. Where the hell do we need to go? And I can't see a goddamn thing again. Okay, there's a cave. South. There it is. Alright, please. Yeah. And refuse to jump for a moment. This does not lead anywhere though. Yeah, we need to go underwater, I guess. Come get me. Goddamn cockroach. Right to the face. What am I going to do? In many ways it would be better if I just got rid of the Tree Father. None of them really treat him as a person anymore. So I think I'm going to go with what Harold wants. Yeah, I want to see. You could donate. But this is ooh, critical strike. But it's just as effective as I hope it would be. That's a good thing to get a confirmation on. It'd be a shame to invest a huge amount of effort into those and then find out that the actual utility is much less than the damage values seem to indicate. Sometimes it works like that. Okay, we can use the incinerator here. We're not in any kind of a danger to setting the forest on fire. It's good to get to kill Mirelurks too. Durability wise, Mirelurk King is close to a Death Claw. Not nearly as dangerous, but tough as hell. Although not, he's never gotten close to us, other than that. So it's hard to say how dangerous it really is. Probably a safe guess to say that he is a dangerous enemy, no doubt about that. Ooh, 200. 220 fuel. Okay, now we're entering tree branch territory, or tree root territory, so we have to be a bit careful with fire. That's the heart. Where's this place lead? Yeah, Harold's grown in size quite a bit. I guess it happens when you're alive for so long. Camp Cave. As far as I can see, there was only one entrance here, so I'm interested in where this goes. Maybe this is just an easy way to exit. Leaf blower, missile, and a paint gun. No. This isn't a way to exit, but... Ching! There should be at least one of them not still alive. You can't see me. Easy kills. Okay, we need to decide what to do with Harold. As far as I can see, the Tree Father approach. The good of many outweighs the need of Harold, I would say here. As far as I'm concerned. But the many would have a responsibility to make sure Harold is as comfortable as he can be. But so far it seems like they're all very reliant on him. I would do probably what the Leaf Mother wants me to do, is to spread the accelerate the spread of nature. Tree Father is basically trying to preserve things as they are, so that's not a bad thing, but this little oasis is just that, and I know oasis. In the larger scheme, it won't do much good if that's the only thing it'll ever be. Leaf Mother tries to spread it, spread the nature, spread trees, spread vegetation, so I can see that only as a good thing. Harold is just suffering. So my preferred choice would be to keep Harold still alive, but manage his suffering. Try to keep it to a minimum as possible. So basically doing a change of power in the druids guarding him. The Tree Father would basically need to go. But yeah, it's not gonna happen, is it? Accelerate growth, stop growth, destroy. Goodbye, Harold. You've been exposed to Harold's mutation, and your skin is now as hard as tree bark. +5 to damage resistant, permanent. That's good, that's very good because it's not dependent on armor. Well, I need to go back. I don't see anything good coming from that. Oh, I'm interested in what would happen to Harold. I don't see it affecting the forest in any way. He hasn't been drinking or eating for God knows how long, so clearly the tree is the one who's been on the providing side of nutrition and things like that. So the forest will keep on going as far as I can tell. Unless the writer of this plot is wants to make up a fairy tale. Maybe if it was just the one tree, that would be stretching it, but that might be more believable. But most of the trees have nothing to do with Harold anymore. Harold has basically just been a reason it's been spreading so well. If it's in any way that Harold has been the only reason that the forest is there, he would have disappeared sooner or later anyway. We'll see. We'll see how the story goes. Sniper rifle. Healing items. Knife. Vision batteries. Fairly low quality stuff. Mm-hmm. Treasure. Nothing all that great. There's still probably Mirelurks here though. Yeah. Okay, so who are you?
The Great One is dead, slain by your hand. Don't worry, I hold no grudge towards you. You'll have to forgive my people at a time like this, outsider. They aren't used to being so lost. And for once, I don't have the words to help them.
Welcome back to the wasteland, asshole. I have to say I'm surprised you aren't angrier with me.
Before you reached his heart, he imparted his last words to me. He told me about his will to die and how I mistook this for some mystical sign. How could I have been so blind? How could I have misled all these people? Perhaps, if I would have spent more time getting to know him, things would have turned out different.
What will become of Oasis?
Even though the Great One has left us, our memories of him will never die. With Bloomseer Poplar's help, I'm confident we can keep Oasis alive and carry on as tree minders. Go now, outsider. Go, but never forget the gifts the Great One bestowed upon us.
So, I do like this. It's basically treated as a mercy killing. I don't think the game they're not going to be. I mean, there's not the burning everything is the evil option, but there's no right option here. Every option has its benefits. Because naturally you do what Harold wants, that's respecting the right to determine your own fate. Do what Tree Father wants. Keep the oasis alive, everything going, but keep it hidden. Because attracting attention will attract unwanted attention, so it's a real risk to the security of the place. And the Leaf Mother, spread it because that brings good to the entire wasteland instead of a small group of people here. There is danger there, but the good it will bring outweighs the danger. So I don't feel that there's bad options here. Except burning him alive with fire, naturally. So this has been one of the better quests so far. I like it quite a bit. With people, I'd like to talk to some of them. Wake up, little girl. I want to talk to you about your friend I just murdered.
Hey, my second best friend in the whole wide world.
What? Hey, what will you do now?
Now that Harold's gone, I lost my bestest friend. All I want to do is cry.
I want your blue gloves. They're awesome. I hear you may have a gift for me.
Yeah, I think you're pretty swell for someone from out there. And you were really nice to me too. I was gonna give this to my bestest friend Harold, but he doesn't have pockets, the silly head. This is a charm that my parents gave me for my 5th birthday. It's really neat. Take it.
You bear charm. Speed skill plus 10 points. Yeah, that's pretty useful.
Farewell, outsider.
Yeah, it seems like this place it has something odd. Because again, it seems like the dialogue is not really showing properly. It shows the first line, and that's everything it shows. I thought it might be computer running out of resources or something like that, but I don't think it is. I even checked the memory usage and it's not all that great. There's a lot of free memory to use. So it's this area. Something here.
The Great One is dead. What is it now, outsider?
Yeah, what will you do now?
I'll mourn him with every ounce of my being. This has been a tremendous loss to the world. If anything, this place will become a memorial to him, lest we may forget. May you remain
Yep. I think that'll be enough.
Yes, outsider. Whatever the Tree Father or Leaf Mother would have me do, I'm still theirs to obey.
Yeah, I can't even see all the dialogue options unless I scroll over them here.
May the sap of his wisdom sustain you.
Yeah, that's definitely something very, very wrong in this area. Surprise, surprise, there's something not working properly in this game. This is, I don't really think it's because incompetent people are making them. It's It's a common side effect if you make a sandbox game, because there's so many variables and things like that. So, or so massive of a terrain, so you can't really, and the player can see it from all directions, up and low. So you can't get them all. And if things interact in odd ways, you're going to have odd behavior. So the level of polish is much harder. The flawless level of polish is much harder to achieve in a game like this. In a game where the path set out for the player is fairly linear. So you have to accept some kind of oddities here and there. But most of the game seems to be, it looks good and seems to be working just fine. Just not every place. That's a nice wrap for this. We have to figure out another goal. This area has been not explored at all. I don't want to go to Old Olney, it's too dangerous. I haven't visited the scrapyard either. We just opened that up and then left. We might go to scrapyard and head for the southern areas here. If we don't find anything interesting, we'll do the Galaxy News Radio quest. We'll probably end up doing that anyway. See what Three Dog has to say. Oh. And we still have a few of these sites that we have gained information on but haven't bothered visiting. We'll see a huge area here unexplored right next to our starting place. That's probably the likeliest place we should visit. Yeah. I think our karma is now fairly good, so we might give thought to having the companion from the Citadel, take her with us. Although, yeah, I think I'll explore this area first. Yes, because if there's something fairly important that a game designer would have players to find, it would be very close to the starting position. And this is a significant area that has no sites yet, so I want to take a look. Maybe there's a community or something like that, maybe a companion you could get, something like that. If not, then we'll go to scrapyard, head towards the downtown area. Galaxy News Radio, things like that. So yeah, that's something for another time.